Hey guys, welcome to our review of Darling the Franks episode 9. Sorry if you wanted to see the entire intro, but I just want to jump into this episode as soon as possible because that episode was the giant exposition dump.
Holy cow, backstory.
Ah,
Everywhere. Just, oh man.
yeah,
Thousands of questions answered. Not that many questions popped up as a result. I don't think there are that many questions left, to be honest.
yeah, and I feel like the route they took with this story kind of went along like many of our kind of like thought patterns. Not exactly what happened, but it was some sort of like post-apocalyptic thing that probably came about due to like immortality and kind of like achieving that perfect state. Like when we saw Zorme interact with the people in the city, how they kind of just had no life and were just like ingesting happiness and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I mean, they weren't used for fuel. We got the answer to that. Apparently, magma is the
Just
key.
the best thing in the universe. Apparently, it's the miracle drug.
Yeah,
imagine.
Somehow.
for
No, it's apparently it's just you can refine magma into immortality drugs because that's how it works.
It does.
yeah.
Didn't you know?
I feel like
Come
it's
on.
not like exactly immort. The magma doesn't directly give immortality, but it does at least give like enough energy to society that it can focus on other stuff. And since like I don't know, I feel like that's how it was meant to be kind of like translated. Not that magma itself is the cause for all this life. It's just
You know
melted
what I
rock.
like to call it? You know what I think about it? I think it's the Earth's life energy because they were extracting it and using it and giving themselves immortality from it. And yet, what happened to the Earth as a result? Desertification or whatever they called it. So
Yeah.
now the rest of the Earth is dying because it's losing all of its life energy because they're mining it all.
And the Klaxors are like, hey man, we are the original species. And we're
We-
part of Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't like you doing that.
Yeah, the
'Cause I
guardians
assume
of the
that's-
earth.
It's about guardians. I think it's more something that's their natural.
Yeah, definitely. Or they could be just like fossils that got
Or-
touched by the magma energy and just kind of like turned into this new life form. It's not, but I was actually surprised that the Klaxosaurs were actually part of like an ancient civilization, kind of
Mhm.
like so to speak. I'm not sure if it's related to like the human history. Like maybe they were
That's the thing. We didn't get that. We could still be a possibility. They could reveal it down the line that it's some ancient, split off descendant from humans. But right now, it's hard. Yeah, like we saw a humanoid form in the orb. Remember? Those
Yeah.
orbs that they kill, those are humanoid. So I'm still betting on the fact that I think I remember I said something about it split off at some point, and I'm still thinking that might be it.
I got a new theory because of what we've learned and because of what we've seen. Hey, those are just we're gonna stick a fetus into this Klaxor marble. It is now piloting the Klaxor
A fetus of what?
of the Klaxor Queen. Because you know how Iotas could fill the role of male and females in their mechs.
Iotas.
what 02 and the rest of Squad 13
Zero
is.
Two and the blonde fancy haired kid.
Oh.
Yeah.
And how he can fulfill both roles. So they're basically like they just stuff a baby in there or stuff like a juvenile in there. They grow up and they're just piloting Klaxors to attack.
Yeah. I
And-
feel like
Franks are basically designed off of that. That's my new.
All right. All
Yeah.
right.
and we did like kind of learn that I don't think it's really needed, or I don't think both genders are necessarily needed to pilot a Franks. It just reduces the stress that's kind of like felt by them. It kind of prevents them from dying. So theoretically, humans could probably just pilot the Franks by themselves.
I think
Not for long.
Yeah.
you could have a solo female do it. From what we know, but you
Yeah,
can't have a solo male do it.
So far, we haven't seen that happen yet.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think like the Klaxosaurus had a lot of X chromosomes, and that was like their kind of
I think a huge piece of the puzzle, which I think people care about more than anything else this episode, is probably that yes, they can reproduce, right? Like,
Yeah.
yes, they have to have reproductive organs intact in order to pilot the FranXX. So for whatever shipping you wanted to have, you're good, right?
Yeah.
You're in a better place now, thanks to this episode.
Yeah, like Kokoro could probably be preggers,
Although
but
that hurt.
I doubt it.
Oh, that hurt. Kokoro and
Mitsuru?
Mitsuru. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't see myself ever falling in love with you. Like, oh my gosh.
Oh
yes.
my gosh.
No.
No, the moment that just hurt me, it was just, man, Zoramai's like, alright, tell me one thing. When are we gonna grow? How many clocks do we need to kill before we can grow up to be adults?
Yeah.
And it's just,
Yeah.
his everything just disappeared. He's like, oh, everything I knew was a lie.
Yeah, but what Hiro actually does, like during the episode, I was kind of just like, I said, all right, now we just gotta wait for Hiro to be an interesting character. And when he kind of like has like that drive to actually go and confront Papa and kind of like be that ringleader for his little group again, I was like, you know what, this is like young Hiro. This is the Hiro I wanted to see all along. And when they kind of like have the confrontation and Papa and the crew is all like, all right, you guys do this last mission for us, and then we shall set you free and stuff like that. I was just like,
Oh.
All right,
they're
gonna.
good.
It's like, all right, go kill the Klaxor Queen and kill all the Klaxors, and now we're gonna blow up the planet. Oh, hey, yeah, you're free, but you're about to die. So
Your freedom is freed from your physical bodies.
Yeah.
You know.
something like that. Because they got stuff in space now, so I feel like they're just gonna say, all right, we got all the magma here. Let's find another planet with magma.
Man.
Yeah. Like, I think we still have like the unresolved thing with like Miku and her graying hair, so maybe parasites aren't like full humans. They don't have like their full lifespan, so maybe there's some of that at play here with the why they would kind of like die at the end of their mission. But
Actually, I don't think it might be that. I think so. That you need to take the immortality treatment. I don't think the treatment itself changes the body. It just extends the life. It extends your lifespan by 1 billion. So, when they inject the yellow blood cells, it shortens their lifespan by a bunch. Because because I don't think humans are meant to pilot FranXX.
oh
And
yeah,
so they have to modify the body so that it's able to withstand the stress. And even then, they have to do male-female pairing.
I don't know if necessarily it like that initially their lifespans are limited, because look at what we have with those other two.
No.
The red-haired girl.
No, their initial lifespans are fine.
Okay.
It's just that with the when they have to take like yellow blood cells and whatnot, and just have to sustain that, then it just gets worse and worse.
yeah,
When you want to turn them into adults, you give them the immortality, and then they're fine.
I think that's the thing. Their equivalent of adult is to finally retire, right? Not have to fight anymore. And that was the thing that those guys were going to not give them the guarantee of, because they were always just meant to be, instruments of war. They were never meant to become part of society as the rest of society is. And even those people who like survived all their fights somehow miraculously, and grew up a little bit more, they're just now caretakers for the other pilots. So they're not. They don't even get to live that life. Their adult lives are now just a slightly...
but at least they're capable of like kind of reaching that like at least physical adult form.
Yeah.
All the mental stuff, as we've kind of seen, I feel like that's more of like Papa and crew kind of tampering with the memories. And as he did say, like they did erase them and not like seal them off or anything. I'm not sure if you can really seal off memories in that sort of way. So I mean, with Hiro kind of always referring to their memory wipe as something that's happened to him in 02, it kind of lessens the pain for me, because it's like, oh, it's still reversible. And when they kind of did go back and like say, oh, I can't fall in love with you, or I don't think I will ever have those feelings for you, I feel like that's just something they just put in there to piss us off, just so it would be a surprise when they actually do get it back.
And it's also to show just how different they are from the original. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they've even reverted to the personalities they had at the very beginning. I think they've gone to something even before that.
I think
I don't know.
Coco
Because they
was
still,
referring to
because they
Futoshi
seem.
as her
No,
partner.
they still have memories
No.
of being in
I
the
feel
group.
like they still have members in the group, but from where we've seen the group, I feel like it's a little bit earlier
Oh no, I
in
think like
terms of emotional development.
He's like, I think Mitsuru is still like fine um with Hero now. I think that's still resolved. They just said we just got rid of the pesky,
Yeah,
yeah, they got
memories.
emotions and experiences out of the way. So I don't know how that stuff will kind of resolve itself.
Yeah.
But let's kind of go back to the other kind of big thing that we've seen with FranXX and his meeting with the Glaxor princess or queen, I think.
Yeah.
This
That
case.
was something else. Oh man.
turns out FranXX's wife was a Claxor queen all along after his actual wife died.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What a
We get a lot of backstory about that dude.
yeah.
A lot.
I feel bad for FranXX after watching that
Yeah.
because he's like, oh man, I made humanity immortal, but this kid, I'm not sure if I should have done this because this kind of sucks.
Yeah.
This kind of sucks a lot.
Yeah, but it's not like he's like the sole cause of it, you know? I feel like
I don't think they could have pulled it off without him.
yeah, like there was like so much overwhelming pressure from like the entire world that it was just gonna like happen eventually, and just like he happened to be the one who was doing the research at the time. So, uh, like I also really liked his kind of like introspection throughout his whole journey. Like when we actually see him as like some regular university scientist to kind of being recruited by this evil, not evil organization, but just like this higher up science organization, and then like how he's kind of like viewed what humanity is and how kind of viewed what it means to be immortal. Like he's kind of like contemplating that the entire time because he's like right at the edge. He has a choice to go to be immortal or to retain his humanity. And
Yeah.
once he's like at the end, when we see him kind of just like on the ground, like bleeding or getting his arm ripped off by the Klaxor princess, he's just like, shit, am I even human anymore? Like he doesn't even know. It's so trippy.
He's very as soon as he sees her, he's just immediately just what's the word? Entranced by her and everything that is her existence. And with that lock of hair he managed to pull, that seems to be his life's work. And I mean that's a little bit of a twist though, because that means in a lot of ways he's obsessed with 02.
Yeah, actually, I think at this point he's pretty much he wants to reject humanity because of what it's become.
I don't know. It's hard to say because
Because
I don't believe that, because he is responsible for this group. This group is his little science experiment.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they're as normal as humans have ever, like, at least in this generation. It's going back to what humanity was. So I don't think he's rejecting.
Exactly. No, he's
maybe
rejecting
like
what humanity has become.
Okay.
That's what I said.
All right.
It's
All right.
become
Yeah.
dumb. He wants to be like, oh, have feelings, have organs, don't be dumb.
Yeah.
Have organs.
Yeah, have organs.
Yeah. Like that whole backstory about like 02 possibly being some kind of like, I'm not sure if it has FranXX's DNA. It might be some sort of clone of the Klaxor princess, as Jordan said, but like she can't transform into a human, so maybe he did mix some of his DNA or something. He did some weird stuff like that with her. But I'm not sure if that really explains the other iota, because I mean he did have access to the DNA from the other Klaxosaurs, so there might be something related to that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's weird.
I feel that Iota and the others were experiments on trying to get a little balance between Klaxor and human, because they're way more human than 02.
I thought that Iota was the name that the blonde gives.
Or sorry,
02.
I don't remember what the actual name of them are. Their actual names. They're just called the Nines. That's
Yeah.
the group, but I don't remember each of their names. I just say Iota because that's what I heard him say.
Mika. His name's Mika.
No.
Yeah. Like
I could go there, friend. No. But yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's just all right. We're just gonna like 10% human, 9% Klax. All right, that we got a 02 that way.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go 50-50. All right, we got the 9s.
Yeah. So I feel like we're just like rambling on this point. So I think like the last question I kind of want to throw out there is, what do you think Squad 13, there's Squad 13, right? Or is it 26? Or what do you think
Squad
Hero
13.
yeah.
Squad 13, I'm pretty sure.
What do you think that they'll fight at the very end? Like, what is their upcoming battle? Because I feel like the Klaxor Princess isn't their enemy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna ally with Quaxor Princess and go against Ape eventually, after having a climactic battle.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing that they were mentioning, what was it called? Hralsir? Hrungnir? Whatever the heck. Something with H. I feel like that's going to be some sort of like planet exterminating mech or something. And then the kids and the Klaxor Queen are gonna like, alright, let's do this.
All right.
I think that Dr. FranXX is going to personally go down and propose to the Klaxosaur Princess.
Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna say this here. All right, I want there to be in the end of the show or nearing the end of the show to be a moment where, all right, they go and pilot a Klaxor, and it transforms into some sort of waifu mech from a space force. I want that to be a moment.
I would love it to be a lolly. That would be the best freaking finale to the series.
Oh man.
But we're getting off track. Do you guys have any final thoughts before we end this episode?
FranXX is the best adult out of all of them.
Yeah, like I really love this focus episode because he's probably one of the most interesting characters that we've gotten, and it was real solid. But with that, we shall call it a week or a review. You know, it's a week regardless if we do the review or not. But check us out next week. Make sure to like, comment, and I can't even do this ending right now. Holy crap! Like, comment, subscribe, and check our description down below for everything that's down there. We'll see you next time. Keep it juicy.
See ya.
Later.
Sorry. I don't think I've been doing solid reviews for a while, but what do you guys think should be the thumbnail for this review?
Maybe Frank's is like eyes rolling back into his head as he wreathes in pain, but also ecstasy.
You could have Zorme's moment. You could have Toshi's moment. You could have Frank's, many of Frank's moments.
Yeah, that's what I said.